2025 was my best year ever. I'm perfectly comfortable saying that, like, I don't need a job and I don't need to go through the hiring process again.
Like, honestly, like, I really need to, like, accept the fact that it's more productive for me to spend all my time playing video games than anything else. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm literally making money doing this. And I seriously, like, why even bother? Like, why bother doing anything else? Like, nothing else ever works out. Nobody else, like, goes the extra mile. Nobody does anything for me. It's just dead empty, a bunch of blank empty stares, and stupid people telling you the same thing over and over again. No! Shut the fuck up! But anyway.
You want me to calm down? You want me to calm down?
However, what makes me different from, I think, a lot of people that came before me is that not only am I leaving the job market,
It's just so frustrating. It's so bad. Get a job.
you know, not only am I leaving working behind, I am going to continue to stand in solidarity with young white men in this matter.
I don't know. Maybe the cattle like do need to be treated like this. I don't know. I'm not one of them though. That's kind of like my thing. Like over the past decade, it's become really apparent to me is that like I am not and never have been of the cattle, like at all. But like because of circumstances outside of my control, I've had to be around the cattle my entire life, and it's just so frustrating.
I am going to continue to stand in solidarity with young white men in this matter.
Like I don't know. That's kind of like my problem with like the whole idea. Like I think a lot of people absolutely deserve what's happening to them. Like I would actually argue most people do.
I am going to continue to stand in solidarity with young white men in this matter.
I don't know. That's something I'm struggling with a lot is that like I don't really want change for other people. I want change for myself.
Otherwise, you are just another NPC, spiteful and bitter hater that seethes with jealousy and drags everyone around you down. And the reality is that most people today are haters and losers. And this is because they don't actually want others to do well. As in, they don't understand that the process of doing well for themselves in their own lives is contingent on being likable. And this is beyond the online LARP, okay? This is the real world. And you can't create important lifelong connections and network for whatever you pursue if people don't find you pleasant. And the most pleasant thing is wanting everyone to do well and supporting others to be the strongest version of themselves.
No! Shut the fuck up!
I am going to continue to stand in solidarity with young white men in this matter.
Something I'm struggling with a lot is that like I don't really want change for other people. I want change for myself.
I don't want to hear people like, giving like, honestly, if you post on LinkedIn, like you should just be lined up against the wall and shot. Honestly, like the average LinkedIn user should be killed. What should immediately happen? Pow! Bitch slap!
Like I don't know. It's just like nobody else really works as much as I do, and yet like I'm still like very much like I don't have what I need.
2025 was my best year ever. I'm perfectly comfortable saying that, like, I don't need a job and I don't need to go through the hiring process again.
Nothing else ever works out.
But I can't like relocate or do anything. It's just like I'm just completely stuck, and I have been for a long time. Like why is it not working out?
2025 was my best year ever.
Especially people on like the lower income end. If you're like living in poverty, if you're having like personal problems with like medical problems or family trouble or like living situations.
Still lives with his mama. Yeah. When I saw Mom like over Thanksgiving. Like, she has this seething contempt for this idea of like me ever living with her again. It was like, it was kind of insane. Like, just how much like, no, nothing else ever works out. Nobody else like goes the extra mile. Nobody does anything for me.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, and dudes of all teenagers, as well as the gals.
Hello. This is
Cody Lee of blackcatbooks.org, author of I, the Dragon, Cruel and Beautiful, Rabbit Hole, King Dio, and
the upcoming Cattle Have Fangs.
I don't know. Maybe the cattle like do need to be treated like this. I don't know. I'm not one of them though. That's kind of like my thing. Like over the past decade, it's become really apparent to me is that like I am not and never have been of the cattle, like at all. But like because of circumstances outside of my control, I've had to be around the cattle my entire life, and it's just so frustrating.
The upcoming Cattle Have Fangs. The story was very heavily influenced by Joker 2020, in which a nobody, someone who has a lot of personal problems and severely mentally handicapped.
Oh, he just like me. He just like me for real.
I don't feel as if most people are in my position with my background, my mental shortcomings.
He looks so proud of his outfit, doesn't he? Isn't he handsome? What a handsome boy he is. Well, our big boy, our big Applebee's waiter boy, he's very proud of his outfit. He's very proud of his amazing-looking suit. It's highly tailored. I think it's Italian. We're talking maybe some Armani-level shit. Now, a lot of people made some jokes, talking about how his suit was just disheveled, just shameful, how it was all saggy, and we all know what they say about sag.
If you sag off, your swag's off. You know the rules.
In a lot of ways, I never expected to find work so fulfilling, because it is a lot of work. It does take a lot of time, but I do value it. I do enjoy it. I do enjoy what I do, and not just like the stuff I do in my free time, right? Not just the writing and stuff like that. Like I do enjoy my regular job too. I think the people there are great. I'm very attached to them, and honestly, I never thought I would say this. I think I'm going to be sad when I inevitably retire. I do. I really like everyone there. I think they did a lot for me, and I hope I've done a lot for them. I mean, I doubt it, but you really should be working. You really should be committing yourself to improving your life situation. I know because I was in that situation and worked my way out of it. Like I said, working was absolutely the primary thing that got me out of that situation. I deeply, deeply value it. I deeply, deeply value what my employer did for me by simply having me around, right? I deeply, deeply appreciate that. And I don't see enough people really looking at it the way I do, in that there's nothing inherently wrong with working. They need to understand that fast food is not a career. Retail is not a career. YouTubing is not a career. Sex work is not a career. You're not doing anything really of value. This idea that oh man, I don't want to work at all, that it's not worth anything. No, it just is not true. There is value in working, not just for your employer, but for yourself.